The Ascending Tides update is finally upon us. Finally here. And we're going to go all into that with all the new hybridization and everything. But before we get to that, we got one last character we want to showcase in all his glory. As always, thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to Ghana Gamers. We are a family of gamers in Ghana who love all things anime and comic related. Today we're going to show you Dante, son of Sparda. This is a famous character from the Devil May Cry series who was made popular in the late 90s and early 2000s. Dante is part demon, part man, all killing. A stam sork that we brought, and this is the basic stats for him right there. However, we're going to show you another build for him. Dante utilizes a two-hander as well as two pistols, ebony and ivory. We don't have that, so we're going to use the Fighter Guild crossbow. These are the stats without the summoning ability from the sork tree. He is a stam sork, and without that, we're going to see his stats are a little bit different. So we're going to use the Dragon Guard's elite skill. As you can see, gives me crit, weapon damage, stamina recovery, and I get a stack that basically after 10 of them, I get 2,700 crit chance. We're using the Vadistron's axe for our two-handed back bar, and we're using Bloodspawn's arm guard. Now you could use Magma Incarnate, which works great, and I actually prefer it. I'll up that later. But for this right here, we're just using Bloodspawns. We also use the Vicious Ophidian. Vicious Ophidian gives us a reduction in stamina cost by 8%, as well as some crit chance. Now, this allows us to spam all of our abilities almost at will. With enough recovery, you can pretty much have no issues with stam. And with the sork ability to Dark Exchange, you can literally just keep fighting non-stop. While your enemies are long out of resources, you can just keep on going. And you're going to need to be able to spam that pistol or that crossbow, however you want to see it, as well as your cleave. Now, the reason why we're showing this prior to the Ascending Tides is because we're going to see how he performs before and after. Now, as some may know, the cleave is going to get a huge change. So it's no longer going to be 3 stacks of a bleed that you're stacking on somebody. It's going to be 30 seconds that you increase with each stack. So you can stack it 3 times for 10 seconds apiece. This will allow you to have more spamming without just having to keep up and maintain that those bleed stacks. And we're showing you him fighting in PVE because I want to show you that he can solo just about anything, really. It's no problem. We use Atronach for our front bar ability, just so we can get that that burst damage, a hard stun, a burst damage AoE. We already have now in this one. I'm not using the summoning armor, but if you were using summoning armor, you would already have the 15% stamina recovery and magic recovery. But we don't use that here, and we will use it on another build, and PvP build, which we will show you later. But for this one right here, this PvE one, we're going to show you just the bare minimum, just the character out the box, how we got him. Most people who are decent damage can probably go through these bosses in about maybe like a minute a piece or so. Now, it takes me about 2 minutes, but again, I'm not the greatest player. My rotation isn't the greatest. So 2 minutes is fine for me, really, per boss. I'm at no real threat of death. I got no problem with it. This guy regenerates, and I still am able to, put him down within the 2-minute window. And this is using Execute. The other build we're going to have, I'm not going to use Execute. And that's more of a Ascending Tides ready build for PvP. And again, we'll show you that with the next video, which we already have. We'll put it out shortly so that you can see the differences. It's about a difference of about maybe 4K stamina. I'm using different food. And this one I'm using lava food, which is the parsing food. But I use Artaeums in the other one, which gives me more health. So I'm running about 28K health and 35K about stamina, which is really good for PvE and for PvP, mind you. My weapon damage is 5,400 in the other one, which I just showed at the beginning of the video. When you use the Vadistron's ability that stacks, you actually get almost 6K. It's like 56 or 5,700. You get almost 56K weapon damage. Mind you, that with you being able to just stack all of your abilities is quite potent. All right, we do use streak. I know a lot of sorks, use streak or whatever. We use streak, but we use it on our back bar. It's like our hard stun for groups or whatever have you. On our front bar, we use Stampede. We use Stampede. We use the cleave, obviously. We use camouflage hunter, and we're using execute and the crossbow from the fighters guild. Now, all those working in tandem do some decent damage. Your spammable will be your crossbow, and it hits like a truck. Now, when this Inentize drops, as I said before, we're going to be able to not even have to worry about maintaining our bleed on targets. Just stack it 3 times for 30 seconds and just charge or stampede and then fire crossbow bolts or your ebony and ivory pistols for those Dante May, Devil May Cry fans. As we can see, we're coming to a close of this guy. I just want to show you some of it. You can get to the whole dungeon pretty much the same way, but I'm not going to waste your time with all that. I just want you to see that it can pretty much do anything. It's not a problem. So, about 2 minutes per boss, decent weapon damage, and he fits the theme well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for our next showcase of the PvP video.